Welcome back, guys and gals, to another episode of Let's Play Rimworld here on Gaming with Murel. Part 2 of our series premiere. Taya is currently working on our battery bank. As soon as she's done... actually, I take that back. I was going to say as soon as she's done, I'm going to start laying out the power into our little house here. But the beauty of this is, it doesn't have to go through the battery bank first. I can bring the battery bank into it later. Now you may be wondering what I've done here. What I have done is I've put another kind of redundancy failsafe here by wiring both walls directly to the power source. This really is a game where you want to have a lot of redundancies. I'm going to assume if you're playing this game you've had some passing interest in Dwarf Fortress. I'm going to be making a lot of references to Dwarf Fortress in this game. Just because they do have a lot of similarities. And Dwarf Fortress has really... oh, bugger. It's really been quite a inspiration to a lot of these type games. Now, a solar flare has begun. A lot of kind of PvE elements will happen. Solar flares are a big one. All electronics stop. Anything that uses electricity stops. That is just the worst. The worst. It means, like, all your defenses don't work. It means you can't cook. It means if you're growing things indoors, nothing works. Miserable. The other one, which is more survivable, is a eclipse. One of the moons of this planet will eclipse you for a day or so. Sometimes I've seen them go as many as 2 or 3. And that will only really affect you if you're growing plants outside, because plants will only grow when there's sunlight on them. And it will also affect if you're using solar panels, which is something I used to rely quite heavily on. Joywire Artist. We're not going to kidnap anybody just yet, because when you kidnap people from their colony, surprise, surprise, the colonies don't like it. So that will, play into it a bit. We definitely want some defenses for if we get attacked. And I didn't quite make this tall enough. This should be 5 by whatever. Each battery's too wide, or too tall, I should say, or it's a 2 by 1 depending on how you put it. And I like to give them a one block space between the battery banks, so repairs can be done. Another thing that will occasionally happen is there will be an electrical short, and that tends to drain all your batteries and damage a couple of them. So you need to make sure that your people can reach them to repair them. Other than that, we have quite a lot on the go in terms of hauling to be done, as well as quite a bit of building. What I'm actually going to do is take a look here. It looks like, looks like we're saving. It looks like this right here is metal. Let's see, compacted steel, perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get Taya to mine this out so we have a source of metal closer to where all the construction with the metal is going to happen. And where is Taya going? She is eating from a packaged survival meal. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to show you guys how to prioritize. You just click on a job that's currently in work. You can do it on a blueprint or something you've designated, and just prioritize. That'll make them stop whatever they're doing, including sleep. So if you're ever being attacked and you just need this one last thing being built and everybody's asleep, you can make them prioritize it. Chances are, as she's kind of doing this, she'll get tired and go to sleep or go back to eating. That's fine. I just really wanted to show you guys how that works. But now we have at least a small source of metal closer to all these wires and everything that's being built. And I think Jetty's going to be nice enough to haul that for us. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to put a small growing zone. I don't want Jenny to be too distracted by growing, especially since we have such ready meat sources. But I don't want to rely on that. This will be a quick way to make some food as well. And as soon as he's done doing the wiring, I'm going to... Oh, I didn't realize the wire went through a turbine that wasn't built yet. Darn. That's just me making silly mistakes. I knew there was a third one. I knew I put a third one down and I couldn't find it. And I can't build out that way. Okay. So, here we go. So, I don't want to spread him too thin by putting too many large projects. The wiring is not super huge, but it's time consuming for sure. And I don't want him getting distracted. I really want this to be the first priority. So once he's almost done this, then I'll start putting things like lights and a cooking space in here. Probably wouldn't hurt to put a table in there as well, because they get angsty if you make them eat off the floor. They also get angsty if you make them eat... Oh, pirates? A local boar has gone mad. Where is it? It's probably really close to... Oh, beautiful. It's going to attack our visitor. I love when that happens. That just makes life so much easier. I also like it when you get like 2 or 3 factions visiting you and they're all at war, and they all just kind of open fire on each other and you're just standing back. You're like, okay, whatever. You guys do what you have to. I'll capture whoever gets incapacitated. I'll arrest anybody who has a gun. Let's see, this is... I don't want to say problematic, but a pain? Because I don't want to mine out huge sections just for the metal inside the base. So what I'll do is that's going to be a room where we're going to put our jail, and then if that doesn't create enough metal, we have a 300 stockpile. That's not bad. It's not great, but, you know, it could be worse. But yeah, if we need more, I'll start getting her to dig out some of the places that it's visible that won't be any use. This won't be any use to us. I'll probably just get rid of it completely. Once we start building a wall, like a defensive wall, that'll probably become another pillbox. I can't speak highly enough about them. I just love it. There's nothing like everyone just kind of sitting inside while a horde of pirates is like, we're going to attack. Oh, we've all been gunned down. Now, as far as the game goes, it is in early... I'm not sure if it's alpha or beta right now. Like I said, you can get it on rimworldgame.com. The base game is $30. And you can get, after that, there's like different tiers. You can name a character and give it a backstory, things like that. And right now there's a bit of, if you purchase it off the website now, I don't know if you're guaranteed a Steam key. I'm just going to rip that band-aid off right now. If you bought it before November 4th, you're guaranteed a key. Afterwards, they're not sure if everyone's going to get a key or not. And that being said, $30 is pretty expensive for an early access indie game. It took me a while to convince myself to buy it. It is a great game. It has so much potential. As it is right now, I wouldn't be releasing it on Steam, and kudos for Ludion for not kind of just running to the bank with that. It's on Steam check and just stop developing the game. Because a lot of games I've been like really rooting for have done that recently, and it's quite devastating, especially if you have a indie game YouTube channel that relies on half-decent indie games being released every now and again. But, you know, it is what it is. And, but this is a great game, and you can see where it's going. The updates, honestly, add something new every time. There's never just an update where it's like, hotfixed this bug, and, we had carpet. It's like, hey, prosthetics work now. Oh, also, there's a fully functioning medical suite. Oh, and we've also implemented temperature, and these biomes are completely able to be used now, and we've added all of this stuff. It's just great for the updates. Honestly, if you're enjoying this series, look into the game, keep watching. Just a great little game. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's finished. I really can't. So Taya's still working on the jail there. We have it looks like most of the power conduits have been built. Ms. Eider, stop working on things that don't need to be worked on. Holy shit. And this is one of the things, like, you see in Dwarf Fortress, yeah, you can micromanage in this, but it's still frustrating when they're like, hey, there's like a mile of electrical cord that needs to be done. I'm gonna build this chair. So we should have electricity here soon. I'm gonna keep him selected so I can tell him, keep prioritizing this sort of stuff. I think we're still... Yeah, there's still a solar flare, so we won't get any electricity until that's done anyway. And there we go, okay. So the electrical wiring should be in place for 2 of the wind turbines momentarily. No, Ms. Eider, you don't just get to go to sleep because you feel like it. I'm sorry. I am so sick of you slacking off. Just for that, Ms. Eider, you're the one that's going to open the cryptosleep sarcophagi. Hope you're happy with yourself. Now, like I was saying, you do need to, or the goal of the game is to build a spaceship to escape. Essentially, the story goes, you've crashed on this planet, and I guess you're trying to get to the planet you were supposed to colonize, which, I mean, is nifty, but doesn't make sense to me. What should we name the town? I'm going to call it the People's Republic of Murelia. I can't believe that fit. But I can't see why you'd want to leave, like, your own little kingdom to, like, start off as a colonist again. There. After you're done this, I'll let you sleep, buddy. But that's the goal. You have to research the different, like, components to build the ship. And then you build the ship almost as you build the base. And I think that's neat. And you have to, like, build new cryptosleep sarcophagi. And you can only send, like, people who have a cryptosleep sarcophagi out. And it's really neat. We are gonna, like I said, try to do that. But that's gonna be really resource intensive. So we need to get a good kind of foundation down. Now, how many? We have 15 survival meals left. So that's enough to last us for a little bit longer. We have potatoes growing out here, 39, another 1.4 days. And that boar isn't dead yet, which is good because where it's in shock, it's not dead, but it won't run away. It may die shortly. In fact, I expect it to die shortly. But this means that the food doesn't rot. One thing that they added in this update was the fact that food will rot. Up until now, it just kind of sat there, and it was like, fresh, not so fresh. And that's something you have to take into account of, too. With meat, you don't want to butcher it all right away, or else it'll go bad before it's cooked. So while it's in shock, that's a source of fresh meat that won't fight back. So as soon as the solar flare is over, we will start working on the kitchen and getting things butchered. And our battery bank is almost completely set up here, which is just the cat's pajamas. All in all, I mean, these haven't been too particularly interesting episodes, and I do apologize. It will get better. But we have a very solid foundation right now. We have 3 wind turbines. We almost have a full battery bank. We're going to have a jail here, which is just so important. Within probably another day, we'll start working on defenses. And after that, it's pretty much just survive. There won't be... I mean, there's going to be some large-scale projects we're going to need to start working on, like, once we get another colonist, I'll probably have someone who's researching. If we can get a 5th colonist shortly, I want to get some defensive walls up. And I mean, those are going to be projects in and of themselves. Like, there's no two ways about that. But we've kind of got the most basic, boring stuff out of the way. And once we get trade opened up too, that's going to unlock just a ton of things for us. And what we're going to do here in structure, I forgot where it was hiding. We're going to put a steel auto door right here. And that is going to section off this to be our jail. I'm also going to start throwing down some different projects to be worked on, because we are almost completely done this stuff. Now, I am going to harvest a bit of wood because that is a resource that's useful to have. Orders, chop wood. And those two are asleep. So I guess, last but not least, I really wish that solar flare would finish, though. Holy moly. What we're going to do here is slap down some production. This is where we're going to find a sculptor's table. Never seen that before. Smithing bench, tailor's workbench. Neat. I'm looking. That's a butcher's table. Where's the cook stove? Oh, there it is. There we go. So that'll be food production now. And to make the place look a little prettier, I'm also going to slap down a wood floor. That'll keep our colonists happy. Should reduce the ugly environment moodlet, which is affecting everybody. And I'm actually going to go in here and probably finish off the episode by showing you a bit of what's going on in the survivors' heads. Oh, that's right, there's already something there. I'm actually just putting down some lights at the moment to keep this place lit. There we go. So, let's go into Jenny here. We've seen this already. It shows where they're going, whether they're equipped, if they're injured or not. You can go into health and see a much more in-depth breakdown of what is ailing them. And over here is where we're going to focus on is mood and thoughts. So new colony optimism, they get a buff of 35 just because they're optimistic about the future. Had a social chat, they'll talk with someone if they come in contact with each other. 8 off the ground, -4, they're not happy about that. Sharing a bedroom, -8. Don't like that. If they're not inside, there's another one. It's like, slept outside, like -15 or something. Spacious interior, +5. So that's kind of a breakdown. If they get too low, they will kind of snap like they do in Dwarf Fortress. They may just decide to leave, at which point I generally just arrest them and make them talk it out with the warden. Or they may, like, just open fire on people and go crazy. It's not uncommon for a prisoner that's hard to recruit to lose its mind and just start smashing things. Depending on how physically strong they are, they may actually kill everyone in your jail cell. Which is heartbreaking. It really is. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. I feel like as long as you have 3 survivors, you have a fighting chance. Even 2, there's a pretty good chance you can survive. But, that being said... Oh, I was going to ask why this wasn't lit up. We have electricity, but there's no lamps built. So we do have an electrical current going through. If we look at the batteries here, they're slowly charging. Kind of. So we may need to build more wind turbines. I don't know if they're not spinning. I'm really new with the wind turbines. It doesn't look like they are spinning very well. This one's producing a bit of power, though. We may need to look into that. If we have to build another one, I'll probably just build it out this way, like down here or something. But anyway, we're hitting the 20-minute mark, so just want to thank everybody once again for checking out the second half of our premiere episode. Make sure you check back Mondays, and for now, Mondays and Fridays, we'll say that's going to be the upload schedule for this. The Friday slot may be given to Prison Architect. I'm not sure yet. Also, check out the Red Hot Gamers channel. Like me, subscribe me, follow me on Twitter at Gaming with Murel, or at Red Hot Gamers, I believe. Posting stuff on there too. And once again, I just want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates it. Joyous Hanukkah to anyone who celebrates that. I don't know how to properly, wish people a Merry Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or solstice, whatever you worship. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.